Again, I am back for another video. The second video is going to touch on I feel like the first part of our life is very confusing. And I don't know about you, but I think the biggest block that I had was differentiating being kind and being nice and being a good person versus how I allowed people to treat me, you know? So, like, for me, it's just like because I thought I was a good person and a kind person and a loving person, um, I didn't want to hurt people's feelings. I always wanted to be of service, you know? But those are blocks. And let me tell you why. Because when you are too nice, then you let, I want to say, people who are less aware to walk all over you. And also, what do I mean by that? They disrespect you, they take you for granted. When you are a giving person, you overgive, you know no bounds, and that also prevents you from being yourself because you're being imbalanced, you're giving in a way that's not healthy. You're giving away too much of your time, your attention, your care, your energy, and it's in unequal proportions. And that is why we encounter narcissists. That is why we encounter people who take us for granted, right? But who is standing in the way? It certainly isn't them, it's us. Because we lack boundaries. We lack the ability to be firm when somebody is mistreating us and speaking up and calling a spade a spade. We lack the ability to notice and honor our needs, and so we neglect ourselves. So, who is really doing that to us? There's no one else doing that to us but us. And that is why I think subscribing to the identity of being a kind, good, and upright person can be a block. And you can be blocking your own way, you know? I think that's basically some of the major points I've been touching on in my videos of the past when it comes to becoming to I guess um how do I say, recognizing and pinpointing people pleasing tendencies and all this stuff. It's just no. I have gotten to a point and I just wanted to share this with you. um what did I write? So 2023 again was a very pivotal moment in my life because I was put through a lot of trials and I came out the other side in 2024. Still there's still some residuals that I need to kind of get out of my system, but for the most part it has bestowed me with a much clearer way of seeing how I can refine my operating system and deal with people and deal with situations in general. And here, let me just share this page with you that I wrote. First of all, I wrote, I am tired and bored dealing with nonsense people. What I mean by that? Well, I fully elaborated on this side. Self-absorbed people are boring. And what I mean by self-absorbed, people who are just selfish, people who just don't think of anyone but themselves. They only want their needs met. They never consider other people. They're not willing to compromise. They're not willing to collaborate. They're not willing to think about somebody else's needs. They're just kind of thinking about themselves, and they don't care who they have to step over and who they have to destroy in order to reach that objective. That's what I mean by self-absorbed. Just somebody who just doesn't care about anyone but themselves. And if I were to be radically honest, we live in this world and we are surrounded by not only 8 billion people, but many other different variations of living things like plants and animals. And if you are a selfish person, then I'm just like, I'm here to remind you that you're not like in this world alone. You obviously are surrounded by many other beings that obviously are just as important as you are. So it's not all about you all the time. Another thing, when I am bored with nonsense people and self absorbed people, I don't feed it attention. I literally retract my attention. I just don't have time for it. I don't have time. I don't have energy to, I want to say, engage or, how do I say, support these types of people who are basically operating out of these energetic frequencies. I just don't have time for that, because I'm not an enabler. I don't like to repeat cycles. I break them, so I'm very clear on that, and when I'm bored and I don't feed these things my attention, I move on to better things, you know? Let's see, what else? I made a list, okay, of people that I will no longer, people who I find boring, people that I will no longer give my attention to because I have better things to be doing with my time. You know what I'm saying? And my energy and my attention. So, people who are confused, indecisive, and unsure. If somebody is confused and indecisive and unsure about your value and your worth and your place in their life, goodbye. On to the next. People who live life in fear and paranoia. People who live life in fear and paranoia, I notice, are the very ones that are constantly like, the dog choosing its own tail, and they just kind of like don't move anywhere except in that space. There's no progression, there's no movement, there's only stagnation, and I don't have time for it. And basically, they are creating their own fear and paranoia and blockage, and I do not want to participate, nor do I want to be held back in my life by someone like that. Okay? People who cause chaos. Goodbye. I've said in many other videos that peace is my priority. So if you're not bringing peace to me, to my experience, then you need to peace out, or I will. People who entertain drama, I guess they kind of fall into the category of people who cause chaos. I just feel like these people don't know any other way, and that's fine. That's the thing. I will accept everyone just as they choose to be, everyone as they are. Do I want to participate in that? Do I want to allow them access to me or my energy? Probably not. I'd have to say, and oh no. And oh no. No is a magic word. Whenever you feel like somebody is mistreating you, or you are put in a situation where it makes you feel uncomfortable, your soul knows, and that's a no, and oh no. People who are liars, that's a no. I'm an honest person. I'm pretty transparent, and people who lie to you, I mean, what are you basically subscribing to? Like, you can't build anything off of a lie. That foundation would be very unstable. So I'd say no, that's a time waster. Again, I said people who are self-absorbed, people who are selfish. No, people who are wishy-washy, which kind of falls into the category of someone who is confused, indecisive, and unsure. I have no time for that. This is my life. This is your life. What are we creating? Do we want to participate in that? I mean, I guess you have to until you realize that you don't, People who make things difficult. I don't know, guys. Life is pretty effortless. Life can be, if you want, life can be effortless, and you can live at peace and at ease. But it's going to be hard to do that if you're surrounded by somebody who is making it difficult for themselves and then pulling you into that reality. No, thank you. Next. People who don't communicate. I mean, if we can't communicate, it's pointless, you know? Like, it's like, for me, it's just like I've always put like importance and value on communicating, and communicating effectively and communicating authentically. And if somebody cannot communicate with me in the same manner, then I don't know where this is going. It's going nowhere. And again, it's a time waster. And I've said in previous videos that your time, your attention, your energy are your most invaluable commodities. And where are you investing it? Definitely not in time wasters, you know? Um, People who aren't transparent, which is equivalent to being a liar, you know? People, I mean, I feel like these people, like, they probably do it for self preservation, and self defense mechanisms, but it's just like, again, it's fear based, you know? Like, I'm here to be real, I'm here to be like honest, I'm a loyal person, you know? I'm a good person, but if you're going to be participating in all of these things, I'm going to have to say no, 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 okay? People who make you feel invalidated, and people who are easily influenced. I feel like I put that down because it's just like people who are easily influenced don't know how to really think on their own, and they're easily influenced by external things. And so they're not really being true to themselves. They're just being influenced by and subscribing to things outside of themselves. So they're not really being them. They're just basically like living out someone else's reality. And I'm just like, okay, well, if you cannot differentiate between what feels true to you versus what someone told you to do, I don't know if this is going to work. I have no time. I have no time for that. Okay? So all of these people that I just listed here, okay? I put they are not self-aware, they are boring. They are not worth my time, are dead weight, are draining, are dead ends. No thank you. And how do you know thank you? You peace out. You say no. No access. Retract your attention. Moving it along. Moving it along to better things that make you happy, that bring you peace, that make you feel satisfied, that satiates your soul, you know? Like, for me, it's all about soul. Soul, okay? And always remember, sometimes when things are falling apart, they're actually falling into place. So sometimes when you let go of all this dead weight and all these time wasting things, yeah, it may feel horrible in the moment, but you're actually freeing yourself, you know? So after you go through that transmutation process and you process everything and you get rid of all that yucky stuff, you're going to be in a better place for yourself and for others, because you can show up for others in a better like place, in a better way. You know what I'm saying? When you drop all the dead weight, when you stop like participating and stop playing with these people who obviously are meant to waste your time, use your energy, and take your attention away from yourself and the good things you could be doing in the world that could probably benefit others. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I don't know if it made sense, but if you learned something from this video, great. If you didn't, that's great too. Tomato, tomato. Anyways, I hope you are having a beautiful, beautiful day, and blessings to one and all. Amen.